Spacey Sims, and we are back with more Men of Yoshiwara Kikuya, and we're still in Kagura's route, of course. We're in chapter 11. We just started it, so I don't think we've gotten any choices in this one yet. So we asked Ganamon to buy us some books that are expensive that we probably can't afford. So we're gonna have to stop seeing Kagura-san, and we still haven't gotten boned. It's just a disappointment. But yeah. We've only got a couple chapters, because 13, I think, is the last chapter. 11, 12, 13. Yeah, so we've got, like, 2 and 3/4. 2 and 3/4. 2 and 3/4. I think we've only read, like, a fraction of this chapter. So we might get to the end. We won't get to the end in this part. We might get to the end of chapter 13, so we can get our ending in the next part. But anyway, unless the chapters fly by. But I feel like chapters 8 and 9 kind of flew by. We were in chapter 8 in the last when we started. 9 and 10. Yeah, that part seemed like we got almost 2 full chapters and 2 half chapters. Well, no, chapter 8 was at the end of it. I don't know. Anyway, it doesn't matter. A few days later, I held an academic book close to my chest. And as usual, I was rushing to see Kagura-san. But one thing was different from the time before. I didn't have money anymore. I used a lot of money to buy this book. All I have left is... No, I can't think about it negatively like that. All I have left is enough money to, like, maybe sleep with him tonight? I don't know. I should only think about the here and now. You could sell the kimono and all the other stuff. That's what we had to do in Takao's route, right? And my feelings for him. Oh, we did that in Tokiwa's route to buy the banquets for him. But I thought we also did that to help out Takao, too. Anyway, when I got to Kikuya, I was told that Kagura-san might be training. So I quickly made my way to Inari Shrine. When I arrived, there was Kagura-san in the middle of his training. Kagura-san noticed me first, followed by Kageru-san. Perhaps I was bothering them, but I was just so excited. I bow, greet them. Apologize for interrupting. Apologize for interrupting. Bowing is appropriate. Apologizing is more appropriate while bowing. Just be like, "Sup, yo!" Apologize for interrupting. I'm sorry to have bothered you. No, I don't mind. I don't have any intention to bother you guys, but I came here without even thinking about it. So I'm assuming if you just bow, I didn't intend to bother you. Because we already apologized and we just did it again. Weird. But when it came time to say something, I somehow couldn't form my words as I wanted to. Shall I leave? Kageru-san asked Kagura-san while he was wiping away his sweat. It doesn't really matter to me. Then Kageru-san looked at me now. It doesn't really matter to me either, but I do have something I want to talk about. And then I'm going back ahead of you. Is that okay? Kagura-san nodded with his eyes in response to Kageru-san's question. What do you want? Like, what do you want? That sounds rude. You look oddly more formal than usual. Kagura-san asked me that in a nonchalant manner as he tidied his clothes. Even though he had been swinging his bamboo sword up until a moment ago, he was hardly breathing roughly at all. This is going to be so hard. Here's this book, and now 2 chapters, we're going to have to drag this conversation out because I can't afford you anymore. If it's about tonight, you'd better talk to someone at the shop. No, it's not about that. Kagura-san stopped what he was doing and looked at me. He slowly approached me and then stood right in front of me. And don't make such an intense face. It doesn't suit you. Kagura-san... But it's because I know it's going to be the last time. The last time with the one that I love. That's what I'm thinking about as I stand here. Oh. So what kind of face should I be making if not an intense one? But today is the last day. These words were locked in my heart. I have been trying to get those words out until a moment ago. But since I wanted to see his smile today, I swore that I wouldn't tell him. To hide this from him, I forgot what I was going to say. That's bullshit. I want a daffodil. I want to see you. I feel like I forgot what I was gonna say. That's usually... I just forgot what I was gonna say. That's really good cover when you don't want to say something to somebody, but also kind of bullshit right now in this situation. I want a daffodil. Sounds kind of bitchy and, like, entitled, so... Best answer, I want to see you. I wanted to see Kagura-san right away. It's not a lie. I always want to see Kagura-san whenever and wherever I am. You are a passionate lady. Kagura-san seemed to be surprised by my sudden words. So for tonight, are you coming to Kikuya? It might be time for him to go back. Nightfall was approaching. Yes. When I said that, Kagura-san smiled at me like he was relieved. He gently pushed my back. Shall we go together? I need to prepare for tonight. But can you wait for me? Yes, of course. As we passed under the red gate at Inari's shrine, just then, I felt like I had smelled the aroma of the daffodil that I smelled the other day. I turned back, but there was no daffodil. As I wondered where that aroma had come from, I looked up at Kagura-san. And because he was smiling at me ever so gently, I thought that something like that wasn't that important. All that mattered now was the warmth that was right next to me. Okay, wow, chapter 11 was... I feel like we just started chapter 11. Yeah, I feel like these... Like, his early chapters seem longer. Like, normal, I feel like, for, like, Takao and Tokiwa. Like, I feel like Kakeru's went a little bit faster. Takao's took longer to read. But maybe because I was interjecting a lot, like I normally do. But, I mean, like... His was actually, well, only a part longer. It just seemed like we got like 2 chapters into the first 2. Like, Kageru was always 3. And like, his are being awkward. I don't know. Anyway. The love like a mother. That sounds creepy as fuck. Oh god, I don't have money for this. Well, today Spacey-san is giving us a big treat. Everyone in the parlor room erupted with excitement to Iroha-san's words. Of course, Kagura-san and Kakeru-san were there, and Takao-san and Tokiwa-san were also there. This will be the last time. Since tonight would be our last time together, oh, you better get some, girl. I thought that this was the least I could do. So I asked Iroha-san to hold a banquet tonight. So I hoped today would be the most enjoyable and memorable banquet yet. Everyone in this room now. I had at least a few memories with each and every person. The time that I spent coming here was short, but my time here was very meaningful. If I recall each memory, it feels like tears will form and spill from my eyes. So I just tried to act cheerful. But, Spacey, what happened to you today? Kagura-san asked me anxiously. Kagura-san was a very sharp person. I thought that he might sense something, but... Whatever do you mean? Did I drink too much? Are you talking about my big treat? No. Yeah, like, what do you mean? That would be my answer. What do you mean? You're acting strange. You look like you're forcing yourself to do this. Are you? He looked at me suspiciously, which made my heart beat loudly. If something happened, could you tell me? No, nothing really happened. Unable to look at Kagura-san's face directly, I turned away. I've already decided that I wouldn't tell him. I swayed over something like this. But as I thought about it, Kagura-san's glance felt painful. And just then... Oh, why won't you let me sit next to you? Hey, you don't seem to be drawn to me at all. You're acting like such a girl. Perhaps he's already drunk. Takao-san hassled me with more force than ever before. Okay, I don't want to pay for him anymore. Get him out. And then he smoothly wrapped his hand around my waist. Takao-san! Ouch! Kagura-san swiftly brushed Takao-san's hand away. And then Takao-san sniffed at him with dissatisfaction. Have you already offered your beautiful body to Kagura? This was right in front of Kagura-san. After he suddenly said that, I became extremely nervous. What are you saying all of a sudden? You're still reacting like a virgin. Maybe I'm just not comfortable talking about my sexcapades, okay? Even though she's a virgin. Still, she could just be uncomfortable talking about sexcapades, all I'm saying. Oh, I see. You still haven't done it, have you? His voice hurts. You talk too much. You've become terribly sexy lately. Are you saying that to Kagura-san? Because, I mean, I don't blame you, but... So I just figured that Kagura took care of you. A bewitching smile came across his face, and this gave me the chills. I felt like my entire body would become hot with shame. You should have been like, have a banquet for everyone, but not Takao. I understand Kageru has to be there. He's a little bit of a bitch, but Takao can't keep his hands off me, so can we leave him out of this? He's making me not like him. I like him in his own route, but in this route, Jesus fucking Christ, keep your hands to yourself, buddy. And then, I did notice that he was next to us, but Tokiwa-san was also listening to our conversation while nodding in agreement. Hey, you guys are really taking your time. How could a famous courtesan not sleep with a regular client of his? Oh, well, he's either really slacking off or... And maybe he's seriously in love. It must be one or the other. Seriously in love? When I heard that, my heart made a surprisingly loud noise. Without thinking, I looked at Kagura-san, but... Kagura-san was as expressionless as ever. He's got the best poker face. He neither confirmed nor did he deny it. So in other words, he didn't even think about me seriously. Is that what it means? Lies. He's really good at covering his expressions. I slowly turned my face down. Until a moment ago, I was trying my best to keep firm. And I kept on for this long, but... Oh, what happened to you, miss? The person who looked straight into my face was Tokiwa-san, not Kagura-san. No, nothing. Did you get drunk on sake? Oh, that's serious. Well, I guess I'll take care of you then. Huh? Tokiwa-san suddenly touched my cheeks. I panicked about what I should do. Don't say anything. That's okay. Is that like, no, that's okay. Don't do that. Or like, yeah, sure, that's okay. I would assume she's like, no, that's okay. Please don't. Don't say anything is bad. Don't say anything is bad. Talk to Kagura-san? That would be my... We're trying to appeal to him. I would say that's the appealing to him. Kagura-san. I was at wit's end, so I asked Kagura-san for help. Then... You'd better stop it now. Kagura-san's sharp voice launched out at them. Even if it is a banquet, what good will come of making the client uncomfortable? The room fell silent. Exactly. If two famous gentlemen in this red light district can't even entertain one client, wouldn't that make Kikuya a laughingstock? No, I feel so bad for them. I still love them, but like, that's what you get for trying to stick your dick in everything, Takao. Jesus. Kagura-san nodded to Kageru-san, as if to tell him well said. Jeez, you trained him well. Really, it must be nice to have such a good assistant like you do, Kagura-san. Hey, you should talk. I'm not your assistant. You are my assistant. No, I'm not. You don't let up, do you? I'd really like to sew that cheeky mouth of yours shut right now. Everyone... If you guys have no intention of contributing to the entertainment, then I'll ask you to leave. You heard him. Takao-san and Tokiwa-san, could you leave the room now? No, I don't want to. Tokiwa will dance now. That'll be entertaining enough, right? Oh my god, his voice is hurting my throat so bad. I can't do it. Why does it say Iroha? I'm pretty sure it's supposed to say Tokiwa. What? Me? Come on, dance and sing. Isn't it great? You can do what you like. Then Takao-san took the shamisen by his side and started to play. It was far different from his usual arrogant attitude. The melody that he played was very delicate and beautiful. I gasped with surprise. Kagura-san, who was next to me, sighed deeply. Here we go. All right, I'll dance too. His bewitching expression that he had when he tried to seduce me was nowhere to be found. Tokiwa-san displayed a friendly smile and stood up. Then, in that instant, the air in the room completely changed. It was unlike any gentleman of the night that I had seen before. He was so gorgeous, alluring, sexy, and beautiful. Kagura-san casually poured sake into my cup as I was carried away watching his dance. The atmosphere was completely different from the way it was before. It made me wonder if this was what a real banquet at Yoshiwara is supposed to be like. As I thought this, I let out a deep sigh. Kagura-san, thank you so much. It was the end of this last moment. I was sincerely happy that they held a banquet like this for me. So without even thinking about it, I expressed my thanks. I'm the one who would like to thank you. And this is how you captivate everyone. Kagero, I've never seen him get attached to anyone other than me. Oh no, I think your heart is different from other people. You're very strong and kind. Kagura-san continued to talk to me in a more fluid manner than ever before. All the gentlemen here have something on their minds. Perhaps everyone feels relieved when they're around you. Hold on, I have an itch on my leg. And the only hand that can itch is the one that was on my mouse. Would it be rude of me to say that you're like a mother? Kagura-san smiled and looked at me. Ugh, how insulting. I shook my head slowly. I'd be like, yeah, a little bit. That's just creepy. No, thanks. Kagura-san gently and slowly narrowed his eyes. I know that, like, there's going to be those men that find it appealing that you're kind of like a mom. You have mothering instincts, but that's just creepy to me. I'm sorry. Yeah. Because that's either, like, you want me to be like your mom, which is fucking weird, or you want me to be a mom, which is also fucking weird because I'm not down with that. So, like, that's cool if you're like, oh, I love to be a mother and that's so great. But to me, it's like, ew, no, I'm going to need you to leave. Yeah. And then he looked around at the gentleman in the room and looked back at me again. Wow, Tim cannot type for fucking shit. Keeps forgetting words. That was an awkward transition. Anyway, I am grateful. You heal everyone and make them smile. So to me, you're just dazzling. I felt a tight, squeezing pain in my chest, like something was strongly grabbing my heart. Around the time that I had just met Kagura-san, he said to me at that time too, that I was dazzling. For me, Kagura-san is so dazzling. The world he lives in, this red light district, the gentlemen of the night here, everyone, they're all very dazzling. Someone was laughing. Then I heard someone clap their hands in a rhythmic fashion. What a happy and fulfilling time this is. I will surely keep this moment in my heart and keep strong after this, even without Kagura-san. Firmly I'll walk down my own path. I rushed to wipe away the tears that rolled down my cheek, and then I smiled. This sounds like a funeral thing, like he died or something. I want to see your dance too, Kagura-san. My dance? I agree. I want to see that too. See, Kageru's so fucking in love with him. Well then. Kagura-san stood up. Our eyes met and we smiled at each other. Dance for me. Make it sexy. I love Kagura-san. And that will never change. I'll always love this person. Kagura-san started to dance beautifully. And soon after, oh girl, the dreamlike banquet came to an end and it was just the two of us. Aren't you tired after today? I'll massage your leg a little. Huh? But Kagura-san, I can't have you do something like that. Girl, let him touch you. This took me by surprise, so I frantically declined his offer, but... And don't worry. I learned about pressure points from a Western studies book. He grabbed my ankle and pulled me. No, And then, without a single change in his expression, Kagura-san started to massage my leg. His movements were smooth. Kagura-san's fingers crawled up from my feet with just the right amount of strength. With a serious look on his face, he moved his hands. The foot massage sounds like it'd be so magical right now. Kagura-san, you really don't need to... Your legs will feel sluggish the day after you've drunk alcohol. But if you massage them like this, it'll be totally different. I'm supposed to say icy, I think. No! I was about to be taken in by his story. We always take care of our legs like this. And you have such beautiful legs. So you should do this too. Beautiful? Oh, that's right. Kagura-san is touching my legs now. A feeling of embarrassment swelled up inside of me again. Oh, he's gonna touch more than that. He fucking better! But the comfort of the massage made me more and more relaxed. After massaging my ankles, he moved onto my calves. And then he went back to my ankles again. It feels so comfortable. But what was this impatient feeling that was in direct opposition to my comfort? You want him to creep higher is what it is. You've started to soften up. Watching Kagura-san's flowing hand movements, even my heart seemed like it would soften. Would he sleep with women in such a gentle and careful manner as this? Is he sometimes gentle and sometimes strong? And did he sleep with a lot of women with such a kind and peaceful face? When I thought about it, I suddenly came back to reality. See, that just ruins it. You're like, does he have sex with a lot of ladies? Oh, girl, you ruined it. Just what was I thinking about? Oh, what happened? Your face looks red. No, it's nothing. I couldn't look straight at his face. If that's so, then that is good. Kagura-san silently massaged my legs. I should stop thinking about so many things. Because if I let a lot of things come into my mind, it'll just make it really hard for me. It's okay to sleep like this. But tonight's my last night. Oh, thinking that, I nodded in agreement. I want to touch your skin like this forever. Kagura-san, I couldn't even ask what he meant by that just now. I looked at the shadow of his eyelashes that fell upon his sorrowful eyes. And as I looked at this, I imagined it was clear that he loved me. And that's why he had yet to cross that line. Though I felt like I couldn't sleep at all, I quietly closed my eyes. Fucking A! I just tried to remember the touch of Kagura-san's soft fingers. After that, Kagura-san took his hands away from me. As I pretended to sleep, he laid me down and then laid himself down next to me. He gently combed my hair and caressed my cheeks. I wanted so badly to open my eyes right away. Do it so you get kissed. And hug him, but perhaps the reason that I couldn't was because I was scared. Perhaps I was scared to be rejected by Kagura-san. After that, I made sure that Kagura-san was asleep. And then I placed the academic book that I obtained next to his pillow. And I quietly left Kikuya in the middle of the night. How? The gate's locked! Plot hole! Goodbye, Kagura-san. Oh no! Chapter 13, once again. We might be able to get our ending. Immediately after I spent my last night with Kagura-san, my family's store became really busy. The reason for this being that Genomon-san would be going back soon. There was a non-stop flow of customers coming to visit Genomon-san, but being this busy was actually convenient for me. It distracted me from feeling lonely. I didn't even have time to immerse myself in my memories. If I stopped even for a moment, I would end up thinking about him. If I came back to reality even a little, I would end up remembering him. The person that I love, Kagura-san. So I had to wear myself out at night and be so tired that I would sleep like I was dead. One day, someone pulled my arm when I went into the back of the store. It surprised me so much that I couldn't say anything. Then, it's me. What? Kakeru-san! It was a boy who didn't fit in this place at all. He had pure white hands and a very slender body. And this boy had an intelligent-looking face. You knew someone was going to find out when you didn't go back. Hey, you're despicable. What? He glared at me fiercely. Ahem. What? I was like, what? It came out as a whisper. He glared at me fiercely. My body shuddered. Hey, you have no intention of coming to see Kagura-san again, do you? Well, Why? I can't afford it. Why? He yelled at me in a subdued voice. I'm sorry. It was a lot of work to find this place, too. I thought you were a rich merchant's daughter, but you're just the daughter of a shipping agent. It's no wonder that you always wear plain clothes and accessories. I fooled them from the beginning. I had no excuse for that. And you just went back to your normal life without a care in the world. Bitch, I'm broke! Without even knowing how Kagura-san feels about you. What? His face twisted with regret. And then he stared at me. It looked like he had been hurt. And he looked very sad. This is from Kagura-san. Kageru-san quickly pulled something out. What is this? And this too. Is he giving us our books back? That's so sad. Without answering me, he continued to pull something else out. And it was a daffodil? It was a single cute daffodil. Oh my god. If he gave me my books back, I'd be sad. I'd be like, that's rejection right there. I don't want your books anymore. But he gave us a daffodil. Oh, it hurts. Its soft, nostalgic smell wafted through the air. There's a letter too, so please read it. Well, then I should go. Kageru-san. Then Kageru-san instantly disappeared into the street. You should have told him. You should have been like, it's not that I don't want to, I just can't afford it. I once again looked down to the things that he gave to me. The first thing I received was a piece of paper. That's so fucking, can you imagine? He was like, Kageru, go find her for me. He had the little bitch come find us. That's so sad. He's like, I can't go find her, but I need you to find her for me. Oh, this hurts. In a good way, but... the first thing I received was a piece of paper. Something was wrapped in this paper. I slowly opened the paper. It was just fucking paper. And inside was... money? Also, beautiful brush script was written on the piece of paper. God damn it! Is this Kagura-san's handwriting? How smooth and beautiful his handwriting was. It had a strength that drew me in, and a delicate flow. And the words written on the paper said, I want to see you again. Is this a normal letter that a gentleman of the night wrote to their regular clients? Or, before I knew it, teardrops were dripping from my eyes. He sent me money. He took his own money, sent it to me, so that he had to understand. They had to, like, figure out why I wasn't coming because he wouldn't have sent me money otherwise. You know what I mean? He would have just said, I want to see you again. But he sent us money so that we could buy him. That's so sad. He's like, I'm going to give you $100 so when you give it to and I get $10. And I didn't actually earn that. Like, it's not like, whoa, it's an extra $100 in my pot. It's the same money. Oh. He loves us that much. That's so sweet. Before I knew it, teardrops were dripping from my eyes. Large teardrops passed over my cheeks and fell down to the ground. Kagura-san. Kagura-san. I also wanted to see you so much. I've endured so much. Giving me money meant that I should come and see him. That's what he was saying. Yeah, so that you could afford to go see him again. But how much trust can I put in Kagura-san? How much should I believe without question? I really want to believe these feelings of his. Why would he send you money and then you'd be like, okay, cool, I just made some money. Like, you know what I mean? And the least you can do is go and be like, look, I can't afford to come back. So, like, you're just going to keep sending me money for me to come back and using the same. And it's just a cycle of suck for us, so let's not. You know what I mean? I just can't have any further doubts. I want to see Kagura-san. No, it's not good for me to see him. This opposing feeling fought against my desire to see him. But I couldn't fight it. I couldn't just stand around, so I headed to the red light district. I knew it was Kagura-san who quickly opened the door. But unable to lift my head up, I kept my head down. Kagura-san gallantly approached me. My body became stiff. Even though I was facing the person who I wanted to see so badly, I was unable to even lift my head. And as soon as Kagura-san came right in front of me, I love him most of all. I can't live without you. Kagura-san held me firmly. At that moment, I didn't know what had happened, so I couldn't do anything. But as soon as I understood that I was actually being hugged, I couldn't help but hug back the person that I loved. Kagura-san. Tears dripped down, and before I knew it, Kagura-san's clothes were wet with tears. But not seeming to care about it at all, Kagura-san held me ever so tightly. Why didn't you come? Even a letter would have sufficed. If you did that, I didn't know how to respond to that question. I don't care where you were born or whose daughter you are. Those kinds of things don't matter. I didn't feel alive when I couldn't see you. Are you trying to kill me? Oh, I love his passion so much. Jesus Christ! Okay, he might be my favorite. Kagura-san's words sounded like a grief-stricken scream as they penetrated my ears. It felt like they also pierced through my heart. His words were so intense and painful. Kageru, least favorite. Again, his route was fine, but I really actually do love all the guys in this so far. Again, Kageru was like, yeah. He's a little too... I understand his being a little standoff and bitchy in the beginning, but he just kept doing it, and it was like, all right, now I'm just getting annoyed with you. He had his good moments, but bottom of the barrel. He's literally the bottom. But Takao, Tokiwa, Kagura, they're great. I love them all. I like them all. I like it when I like all the boys in a game. There's always got to be one you don't, so... Anyway, his words were so intense and painful. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. If this was a trick, then I wouldn't be able to believe anything anymore. That's how deeply I felt Kagura-san's feelings. We kept holding each other, and we hugged each other to our heart's content. And we finally calmed down, and loosened the strength in our arms. Kagura-san stared at me, and then he narrowed his eyes. I'm nothing more than a bird in a cage. Unable to go and see you freely, I only suffer. Were there not days when you wanted me? No, you were the only thing on my mind, Kagura-san. And then why didn't you come here? Was he asking me? Or was he just being sad? It was supposed to be like this from the start. Girl, that's too dramatic. Tell him the truth, that's good. Touch him. I'm torn. Telling him the truth is a good thing. Touching him is better. I have a feeling that we'll probably tell him the truth. Okay, here's the thing, right? Here we go. Out of all these, we could touch him, right? And that's a scene that if you chose to tell the truth or it wasn't supposed to be like this, you wouldn't just have that 2 quick lines of, I touched him, right? It wasn't supposed to be like this from the start. You say that and then whatever. Tell the truth. If you choose to tell the truth, you have to tell the truth. That's going to take more than like, I didn't have any money, I don't care about that, and then whatever. I have a feeling you're going to tell him the truth either way. The truth has to come out, so saying tell the truth, probably not as good as touching it. Well, yeah, I would say touching is better. You're going to tell the truth either way. So if you choose to tell the truth, it's just going to go straight to you telling him the story, right? If you choose, it was supposed to be like this, or touch him, you're going to probably get a little clippy before you get to the truth. But it was supposed to be like this from the start. It just sounds fucking awful, so I want to touch the man. Touch him! I don't even care if it's the wrong one. I just want to touch him. I couldn't help but touch Kagura-san's cheek gently. Kagura-san looked down with his sad eyes. Gently, he put his hand over mine. I made up my mind and opened my mouth to speak. This is probably where we would have gotten the tell the truth. I think you already know this, but I'm just the daughter of a shipping agent, not the daughter of a rich merchant. My family isn't wealthy by any means, and I don't really have any income. So I never was the type of person that could come here. So what? I already told you that those kinds of things don't matter. No, but it does matter. I don't have any more money. I used all my money for the banquet on the final day that I saw you. And on the academic book. He's like, you spent money on books when you could have spent money on my love? That's actually kind of sweet of us, I gotta be honest, but... Kagura-san made a wry face and went silent. But I knew from the beginning that this would happen. Oh. Originally, the money that I had was money that I received from a couple that I helped run away. He told us not to talk about that. Huh? So that makes me a criminal, and I don't have any more money to see Kagura-san. I'm sorry. However, I'm not at all confused about my feelings for you. Even now, from the bottom of my heart, I love you, Kagura-san. I'm so glad we told him that. You know, if it was given the choice, you would say it. If it was like, I like you, I love you, take me now. Oh, well, that would have been a hard one. I can't believe this. I'm really sorry. I bowed deeply to Kagoda-san. I've already cried so much. But once again, tears flowed from my eyes and wet the floor. Then, like today, I will give you money. Huh? What are you talking about? That sounds... Okay. That's adorable. I'll send you money and then you can come buy me. But you still have to sleep with other women in order... You'll never buy your freedom if we're just sending the same money back and forth. We're just cycling through it. And eventually, it's not like, okay, I have this $100 and I can use 50 for my things and now I give you now you're going to be even more in debt. You will never get out of here. That's a terrible plan. It's beautiful and I love you for it, but it's a terrible fucking plan. Like, it's like, let's rob a bank and not wear a mask or gloves. That's a terrible plan. Robbing the bank in the beginning is just a terrible plan, but I'm just saying. Huh? What are you talking about? If you do something like that, won't it take you a longer time to retire, Kagoda-san? That will have wasted all the money and effort that I put into getting that academic book. I gave it to you so you could find a job after you became free. Spacey. I wasn't sure about it, but I felt that Kagoda-san's eyes were moist with tears. I've heard that a cruel fate awaits the gentleman who falls in love with a client who doesn't have money. Rather than decreasing, the gentleman's debt will continue to inflate. Well, yeah, because he's sending you money. I'm sending you $100 to come buy me, so then you give me that money, but then I've got to go into debt because I got to pay all the other people that support me and send you money. It's... Yeah, wow. His retirement will never come, and once he's no longer able to work as a gentleman, if he's lucky, he could work as a servant in Yoshiwara. But if luck is not on his side, he'd become a streetwalker or unlicensed prostitute. In the worst case, it wasn't rare for a gentleman, weary of this world, to drown himself in a river. Oh, this is so sad! This is harsh, yo. For someone like Kagoda, I didn't expect that it would go like that. But it was clear that he wouldn't be happy. And so, are you saying that this really will be the end? Yes. And you won't change your mind no matter what. When I'm able to make money on my own and come to the red light district. If you still want to see me, Kagoda-san. I see. There was a long stretch of silence. What could Kagoda-san be thinking right now? I came here to have what I believed to be my last night with him. Appeal to him with your eyes. I want to sleep. Oh, this is why I like you. I love you. Take me now. This is Appeal to him with your eyes. I like you. I love you. I want to sleep with you. No. Even though I want to sleep with him, I feel like I want to fuck you. Would be just a bad thing to say. I love you is the right thing. Even though we've already told him, just reinforce your love for him and then get boned. Because it's either going to happen or it's not going to happen. And if we say, I want to sleep with you and it doesn't happen, we'll feel like an asshole. I love you, Kagoda-san. I clearly told him that, and then peered into Kagoda-san's eyes. Kagoda-san's expression distorted a little. Whether we laugh or cry, today will be our last day. So, Kagoda-san, was it too disgraceful of me to ask him that? But, oh! So if you had said, I want to sleep with you, that would probably lead you right there. Oh, interesting, okay. I want to be close to Kagoda-san so badly that I just don't know what to do with myself. Spacey. Kagoda-san hugged me tightly. Thinking that this was his answer, I then quietly closed my eyes. I know this smell well. It was the incense in Kagoda-san's room. It stuck to Kagoda-san's clothes and always captivated me. It smelled so sweet. Kagoda-san. Oh! Kagoda-san's lips gently laid upon mine. And this kiss. This soft, hot, and passionate kiss. I definitely won't forget this. Over and over, our lips laid upon each other's, our tongues intertwined, forming threads of saliva. That is gross! Why? It's not sexy, you ruined it! Spacey, I love you. Kagoda-san, just the other day, I imagined that this would be the best day of my life. With this happiness in my heart, I could keep going. That's all that was on my mind, but tonight, once again, I exceeded this happiness as Kagura-san and I hugged each other. Kagura-san caressed my waist from above my blouse, and then he caressed my breasts. Oh, girl. But then his hand went right past this part and tickled my collarbone. I'm not moaning. I can't do it. I've been wanting to touch you like this for a long time. If someone had already slept with you before me, it would have been easier for me to do this. Why did you appear before me while still pure and beautiful? His longing and husky voice shook my eardrums, and occasionally his breath would fall upon my ear and make my body hot. No, I'm glad that it's with you, Kagura-san. I answered straight from my heart. Then Kagura-san sucked my lips again. Oh girl, we getting it. We're not going to get our ending in this part, which kind of sucks because that means we're going to have like a really short part for the ending. Or we're going to have to do both endings in the same part. I mean, we could do that, that's fine, but... He slipped his body in between my blouse, and... Ah! His hands instantly reached my breasts and covered them. When he softly touched them and pinched their tips, all the buttons of my blouse had been unfastened. Kagura-san... I turned my face away from embarrassment, but Kagura-san wouldn't allow me to do this, so he grabbed my chin with his other hand. I'm the one touching you now. You can't close your eyes. His voice was luscious and gentle, yet also clear, so I couldn't look away from him, and I sighed longingly. Kagura-san's hand groped my breasts. The way he used his hand was gentle yet intense. And again, I didn't even notice when it happened, but my clothes had been ravaged and Kagura-san's hand was persistently stroking my skin. His palm, the back of his hand, and his fingers. He used all of them too carefully. Oh, too carefully. I was like, did they use the wrong tooth? He used them all carefully to grope my body, whatever. His hands passed from my leg up to my thigh, and then the swelling above my legs. Over and over. Kagura-san, no. Even though I moaned and grabbed his hand, Kagura-san stared at me. He moved his hand all over my body. This is what you wanted, don't tell him no. You basically asked for this. Like, literally, we could have asked for this. Like he was trying to remember me by touch of his hands. It hurt so much, so I clung to Kagura-san. And then he caught me in his embrace. But his hand was persistent, and he wouldn't stop its actions. Soon after... Oh god. He split my legs open, and Kagura-san slowly... Oh god. It's like a bad romance novel. Penetrated his member into me. God, I can't believe I had to read that. Oh, good lord. When this happened, I felt a sweet numbness. Okay, they usually just said, there's a feeling of virginity. Like, they said that they've never penetrated with his member. What the why did I have to read that? Oh, God. If I was reading this by myself, I'd be fine. It wouldn't bother me, but having to read it to other people, it's just so awkward. When this happened, I felt a sweet numbness and pain. This body that Kagura-san touched. Perhaps after this, I'll have to spend my time hugging myself. Then, a few days later, one night before Ganamon-san was going to leave, Ganamon-san came to my room out of breath. Spacey-chan, are you here? What happened, Ganamon-san? Ah, good. I have something to tell you right away. Please calm down. Aren't you out of breath? As he breathed with great difficulty, I massaged Ganamon-san's back. I then heard the reason why he came here in such a hurry. And... is this story true? It's true. It's a big deal. I'm going now. I wanted to tell Kagura-san about it right away. So I leapt out of the room and started running to the red light district as fast as I could. You know what? Let's try. Let's try to get this, because the ending can't be more than like 50. They're normally like 15 minutes, right? We got about 15. Perfect. The wedding? What? That was fast. I feel like this has to be the happy ending. Super happy. With much joy, I ran over to Kikuya to talk about what happened. A while after that, during the night, Genomon came to Yoshiwara. I'm delighted to make your acquaintance. My name is Kagura.
Oh, so you're Kagura-san. Well, you're quite the looker.
He's like, I mean, I work in the red light district, I kind of have to be. Like, thank you very much.
To be honest, I came here to see you, but...
Genomon had been searching for a young man at the request of a high-level government official. Someone who is knowledgeable in Western studies and is skilled with a sword. Oh my god, that is the perfect! Someone who is educated and refined across multiple disciplines. Oh my god! Told you. And someone with a strong will and strong appetite for learning. Holy shit! It's like this game was written in this... Like, it's like it was written to be this way. He was looking for a young man with such a promising future. Western studies, swordsmanship, education, and refinement. It didn't seem like there was a young man who had all of these qualities. But it's not like it would be impossible to find this person. By handling imported items and making an appearance in a wide variety of industries, Genomon did meet young men who excelled in both academics and athletics. But
for some reason, they all left much to be desired.
Perhaps because Genomon had recalled those times. But he said that with a look of disappointment on his face. Though there are many famous, rare imported items, the thing called humans are the most difficult. As he continued to be disappointed, Genomon had begun to lose the motivation to find this person.
It was at that time when Spacey-chan brought up the academic book.
Oh, I see. Could he be talking about the academic book that you gave me? Yes.
A girl of age giving up a beautiful kimono to instead buy an academic book. For the man that she likes, of course.
I didn't know. Kagura-san widened his eyes with surprise and looked at me. I felt somewhat uncomfortable and shrunk into myself.
No matter how in love a person is, they'd never think to buy something that expensive. If you want the man that you are, that is. It was after that I found myself suddenly overflowing with energy again. Following that, I did quite a bit of research, but, oh my, the more that I researched, the more that my expectations grew. The number of Western study books that she bought in the end. Those truly were advanced Western studies books, used by high-level government officials.
I didn't know they were that great. We only bought one. Okay, whatever.
Well then, let me ask again. I'd like to recommend you as a candidate for a high-level government official. What do you think?
Kagura-san's like, can we pay off my debt? Because that'd be fucking awesome. Kagura-san, even I didn't know that he would ask something like this. So I was surprised at the same time as Kagura-san. I had no idea that it would be such a big thing.
Of course, I would pay Kikuya for your freedom. There may be some who would raise objections to someone from Yoshiwara. But whatever Genomon, will deal with them. Kagura-san, you don't mind if I recommend you, do you?
When Genomon asked him that, Kagura-san stared straight at Genomon with his bright, shining eyes. And then he bowed deeply. This is more than I deserve. I will do my absolute best to devote myself to the position. I can't thank you enough for this.
Ha ha! What a stiff greeting!
Kagura-san slowly lifted his face. Then he looked at me with a joyful smile on his face. After that, a matter of days passed in what seemed like only a moment. Before I knew what was happening, Kagura-san's situation has progressed rapidly. And the next thing I knew, today came to be his last day at Kikuya. His room was clean, spotless. And his books and other items had already been hauled away. All that was left in this room tonight was a bed. The room became bare, didn't it? It's refreshing. And that's what I want to say, but I also feel deeply moved. Though I didn't have many good memories here. Just then, Kagura-san, that's too much. Kageru-san appeared from the open sliding door. Am I a bad memory for you? Oh, God. You know what? This is my boyfriend. Back off. God, girl needs to get her own. His was a face. His face was like that of a pouting child. Knowing how much he yearned for Kagura-san, seriously. I guess it's only natural for him to pout like this. Also because now you gotta have to be a man of the night. Which I kind of feel bad about. A little bit, but not a lot. Just a little bit. Of course not. You're just trying to find a fault. Kakeru-san, come here. Why don't we drink sake together in celebration? Are you taking pity on me? A little bit, yeah, because you're pitiful. Not at all! Abso-fucking-lutely! You're pathetic! Gosh. Up until the very end, he still stated harsh things like this. This is why you're gonna die alone. Oh, wait, that's me. Oh, damn it. Come, Kakeru. I want you to pour sake for me. Kagura-san, yes. I felt that the way that he responded to me in Kaguro was like night and day. Lately, I started thinking that. And this is what made Kageru-san cute. What? Kageru-san poured sake, and this sake that was poured to the brim appeared to satisfy Kagura-san. Then Kageru-san poured sake for me with a reluctant expression on his face. He's mad because you've taken away his girl. The three of us raised our drinks in celebration. Kageru, don't make such a gloomy face. But no matter what Kagura-san said, Kageru-san would be sad, but... Didn't you want to be like me? Of course I do. Well then, stand firm on those feet of yours. Learn, work, and live out your life. You're chasing after me, so I'm waiting for you. Now it's time for you to let your sister buy your freedom. I'm waiting for you out on ahead. Kagura-san. Kagura-san had a gentle smile on his face, and Kageru-san's eyes appeared to be moist with tears. But before I knew it, I too was almost about to cry. Understood. I'll chase after you, so please wait for me, okay? That's a promise, okay? Okay, girl, simmer down! But he's like a hyper little dog that's like humping Kagura-san's leg. Jesus. Never mind. I don't think I'm going to wait anymore. Huh? What? I have high expectations and will always aim for the top. Kageru may not chase me forever. That's not true. If that frustrates you, then chase me like your life depends on it and surpass me. It was the first time that I've seen Kagura-san say something with such a lighthearted tone. He drank sake in good spirit and smiled happily. And those are the words of someone that should be on top. There is no top. There is no final destination. They were very Kagura-san sounding things to say. Soon after, the evening grew late, and Kageru-san reluctantly returned to his room. Because he doesn't want to be the one fucking. He doesn't want you to be the one sleeping with Kagura-san tonight. Will you go back? Kagura-san drank the last of the sake and asked me that question. Maybe it was because of the sake, or perhaps because of the time, but his eyes looked very hot and moist. As I struggled to say something in return, it would be better to be in a situation where you wouldn't have to go back. Huh? For that end, it would be good to settle down. It would be good to get married. It would be good and to have a wedding. Kagura-san. The words that I heard just now didn't seem real to me. So I cocked my head to the side in confusion. You probably think this is drunken nonsense. No, not at all. Well then, let's exchange promises. Before he finished what he was saying, Kagura-san quickly covered my lips with his. As he covered my lips, sucked and worked his tongue into my mouth, he started to intertwine his fingers with mine, one by one. Kagura-san's smooth fingers slipped into spaces between my fingers, and our fingers intertwined. That alone was enough to send a shudder down my spine. Oh! Lord, I don't know any other words to express my feelings to you. So will this be enough to believe me? Kagura-san separated his lips and looked down on me with an expression of longing on his face. He's starting to get naked. That's when I first noticed that I had already been pushed to the ground. Girl! His kiss is so intense you don't know he knocked you over. A single tear rolled down my cheek from the corner of my eye. Then Kagura-san quietly smiled. You really do cry a lot. After saying that, he wiped away my tear with his fingertip. The tip of his finger was warm. I love him. I love him. I love him! I want him! I wanted his everything so bad that it was driving me crazy. And no matter how much he would give to me, I would never be satisfied. Because I love him. No matter how much of Kagura-san's everything flows forth, my vessel of love is infinitely wide. That sounds really inappropriate and dirty. I love you, Kagura-san. I want to be husband and wife with you. Spacey. They continued to be laid upon me. Hold on. Kagura-san's hot kisses and his hot embrace. Could a person be a creature that is able to ask this much of someone else? Perhaps this is what it means to love. The palms of Kagura-san's hands that slid across my body. Kagura-san's smooth tongue that checked my flavor. Before I knew it, I was also touching Kagura-san's toned body. I felt his warmth with my hands, and the feel of his supple skin. This is the person that I would love from now on. Spacey. Spacey. Sorry. So it was up in front like, That was awkward. Anyway, in the throes of passion with the person I love for the first time. You were in... I guess because the first time was not the throes of passion. Because there is nothing about... Unless he's the person you have loved for the first time, but it's not the first time you've loved it. It's weird. I came to know that ecstasy. Oh, maybe that's what she meant by the first time. Look at that. Perfect. We got more than 67%. Thank you very much, but... yeah, so we're missing the... Okay. So we'll look at our CGs. Our lovely little, like, come to me. Okay. I mean, God. The shirtless. Hi. Get some eyes. This can't be the one we ended on. It's too much. We'll get demonetized. This one always gets demonetized. Seriously. It's probably because we say man whores a lot. YouTube is like... Or maybe what I'm talking about is member penetrating. Oh, God. He's pretty in that one. At least she's cute. And saucer eyes done right. I applaud these saucer eyes. They're not creepy and gross. Oh, that one's lovely. I don't have much to say about this, so that's why I'm just being silent and we're just flipping through them, but... No, I did enjoy his route a lot. He's sweet and adorable, and don't you love him? I do. But yeah. The Daffodil one's cute, but I actually... Honestly, this one is kind of like... His face is the sweetest in this one, even though she's there, but it's okay. Because, like, you can just pretend it's you. Yeah, so that's that. So in the next part, we'll do the happy ending. The normal happy ending, not the super happy ending. And then we'll do the date and the sequel like we normally do. So 2 more parts with Kagura, and then we'll move on to Iroha. Woo! That's gonna be fun. He's gonna be the kind of bitch that I like, I have a feeling. If anyone is going to be bitchy and nasty to me and I'm gonna dig it, it's gonna be Iroha. Because Kageru tried that, but it was like, you're just pissing me off. Like, stop being a bitch. Like, he's sweet underneath, but he's too much of a bitch, and it just rubs you the wrong way. It's like rubbing salt on my wound. Stop it. But Iroha's going to be the one that causes those wounds. He's going to be the one that, like, verbally assaults you and physically assaults you probably a little bit. I'm just imagining him. He's either going to be, like, complete marshmallow, which, I mean, Kagura-san came off as being the marshmallow, but... I don't know. Iroha-san's either going to be like this, like he's sweet and nice, or he's going to be like the Van Helsing, where he's going to shove you up against a wall and you're going to be like, take me now. Like, I don't know. I'm looking forward to it, so it better not disappoint. But anyway, we got 2 more parts with Kagura before we get there, so I will see you guys next time. Remember to give the video a big thumbs up and subscribe to see more.